because of the latest fire is still under investigation, but many people say it could have been caused by unending wrangles in the market, acts of...
And in the plot of land which the market is located, by a powerful clip that they may be using to sabotage, and they may be using to try and force the trade as well. Again, the ill-equipped police fire brigade has come under the spotlight. Many traders say some goods could have been saved had the police responded in time. According to the traders, the first fire trucks to arrive at the scene had no water, rendering them useless in the first place.
Look at this tragedy and ask why it has happened once again, after only 1 year, when logically we should have taken lessons and taken precautionary measures. Our guests tonight, Honorable Mohammed Nsereko, Kampala Central Member of Parliament. You're most welcome to Spectrum.
It's a pleasure and thank you for hosting us tonight.
We also have Assistant Superintendent of Police Simon Peter Musoke, Commander of the Police Fire Department. Well, okay, it's alright. He's not yet come, but he's going to send somebody to represent him. We have right now Mr. Adams Kakuba, Secretary General of St. Balikudembe Market Vendors Association. You're most welcome, Mr. Kakuba.
Good evening, listeners.
Honorable Nsereko, 1 year ago, a similar fire cut at this particular market, and promises to make this place more fire-proof were made by both police and market leadership. How do you explain, in your view, this new incident when we had a warning only 1 year ago?
Well, first of all, I would like to brief with the people that are affected today. These are my constituents. Such an incident, tragic as it is, it has taken place in my constituency, in the epicenter of my constituency. I would like to say we grieve with you. We are all in sorrow. When you wail, we wail. When you are in happiness, we are also happy. But today, it's very unfortunate that the low-income earner in the pyramid of development again, the person at the base, is being affected by yet another disaster. A disaster in form of an inferno, or that fire that gutted without anyone's knowledge. I was not in the country at the time when the fire gutted. I was in Cologne, Germany. But I had to catch a flight and get back today earlier this morning. I went to the scene of crime, what we call it was not cordon locked anyway, but I went to the place where the fire got in the market, and it's terrible. I mean, from one wing to the other, and there is nothing to show anything for it. No one dared to save anything. And people's anger is really, because when you do not go on ground, then you don't feel the people's anger. But from one corner, and this is a plot that is in a triangular form, from one triangle to the other, from one, what you would call it's like what you would call an isosceles triangle. Right. And from one corner to this corner, it gets even the curve. It would be the best shape in form of which you would try to describe it. But anyway, what happened happened. What do we have to do now? For us the Muslims, it's inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. In English, the will of God has taken its course. Whatever we earn is from God, and to God we owe everything, and that's God. But in the aftermath, or during the period in which all this happened, or what we should ask ourselves in a period, in just a space of 1 year. The other time there was an inquiry that the police had to come up with. The report is not yet out. None of us know their recommendations. Because from an inquiry, you would know the root cause, the recommendations, and what people should do, or what we should do in the future. Now, there was nothing of that sort. But that notwithstanding, the fire from 2 a.m. in the morning to 6:15, when the police is just a stone throw away, the fire brigade. That's why you saw people were infuriated. And when the people were giving you their audience, they were coming up with the stories, eyewitnesses and others, you would really feel, yes, the police will have its own story to tell. I'm not a firefighter. They would have better stories. They will tell you there were no alleys, there were no water points, and others. But I don't know what an experienced firefighting police could have done. But in any case, for me, I've been there today, and other government officials were there yesterday. Where is the Ministry of Disaster Preparedness? I mean, to me, that's the only question. 30,000 people is 3/4 of Nambole Stadium full to capacity, which gets full to capacity with 40,000 people or 45,000. So, for you listeners out there, just imagine 30,000 people or more losing their property, losing their wealth, and going back to zero. People with mortgages, people with loans that have been serving the scene for over a year, who lost property, who lost all their capital within a space of about 1.5 years, and they can see nothing again in that space. And the only thing anyone on this earth would call for, like we see hurricanes coming or typhoon and tsunamis coming or clearing areas in several countries, we cannot blame the people who built near the coast in Japan, or we cannot blame the barriers, but we can always try to fight to see that we make better standards for our people. But this is a purely a true replica of a common Uganda who is landless, like you see. They are occupying land that belongs to government under the Uganda Land Commission. That is part of the stadium land. And we would say now they are lawful occupants there. They have stayed there for quite a long time. And if government wanted, or if it had the will to give them a title, because someone comes and says, you know what, we should build according to plan. Let me tell you today, Mr. Kakuba will bear me witness. When I went to Owino in 2005-2006 campaign, it's me who launched the wave of getting the markets into the hands of these people. Because then the market was in the hands of a tenderer known as Basajja Baraka.
Alright, maybe we'll go into those details.
You know, what I'm trying to tell you is we cannot talk of anything that they built this. I mean, if you're on a land where you feel your tenants or your tenure, they do not have security of tenure, what do you build? Temporary structures. Let them be availed with a title. They'll get, that will be their collateral.
Right.
And in any case, they'll come up with an approved plan. They'll be able to improve on their financial muscle and build something much better with the support of government. So, short of that, that goes back to the bottom of the pyramid. People that are landless in this city, people that are not economically emancipated, and as may God forbid, that's where the problems all have to go. The fire goes to them, and we come up with solutions that are just cosmetic all the time.
Listeners, it's Spectrum on Radio 1 tonight, the aftermath of the Nakivubo Park here marketing plan. Why are we failing to address such repeated disasters? That was Honorable Mohammed, Kampala Central Member of Parliament. We've just been joined by Assistant Superintendent of Police Simon Peter Musoke, Chief Fire Officer, Police Fire Brigade. You're most welcome, Mr. Musoke.
Thank you.
Why could this fire not be prevented or stopped in time? You were less than a minute away, and the trucks were there, and you couldn't put it out in time.
I'll tell you, this fire was put out in time, considering what is in those markets. That fire damaged that market essentially because of the way the market was constructed. Many people do not appreciate the way fire burns, the way fire destructs property. It's very difficult for you to appreciate until you see a structure being decimated by fire. The way that market was constructed, made of timber, there was so much congestion in that market. He's talking about, the Honorable MP is talking about 30,000 people, each having a stall in that space.
That's a small space, not a large space.
I think you'd appreciate the congestion in that market. So when fire breaks out, the rate at which it spreads wouldn't be very, very easy.
It's like a fireplace. It has all the key ingredients of a fireplace. Congested,
so
flammable materials.
When we responded, by the time we arrived at the scene, the fire had already gutted more than half of the market.
Why did you take so long to arrive? You only listened.
We did not know that the fire had broken out. We don't have automatic detection systems in that market. It's until someone has seen that there is a fire and reports to us that we respond. If someone had seen it earlier than the one who reported, I'll give you an example. That market has security, which is expected to be there 24 hours a day. Do you know the person who reported to the fire brigade? It was a running caller, someone who was just passing by, who was a Boda rider.
And these people who were not there, maybe they'd gone.
I cannot attest to that. So by the time we arrived, more than half of the market had been gutted. This was not helped by the fact of the prevailing situation, at the prevailing weather conditions. Many people who know the science of fire will appreciate that the prevailing weather conditions play a very significant role in the spread of fire, especially in an open place of that nature.
What was happening?
The wind was blowing south. That's why you see this time when you compare and contrast to the last time the fire was damaged, a big block of a window Central Balikudembe market was seriously damaged. The other time it was slightly damaged because the winds were blowing to and fro. But this time all the wind was blowing south and it had to gut. And at that juncture, the first option we had, when we respond to an emergency, we have three principal objectives. The first is to rescue life, the second is to contain the spread of fire, and the last one is to extinguish the fire. When we arrived at Owino market, at the backyard market, and the rate at which we saw the fire spreading, we took a decision and we had to protect St. Balikudembe market. If we had not responded in such a manner, I can guarantee you more than half of St. Balikudembe market would have gone down with backyard market.
And in the fire brigade, you don't have a monitoring system like the satellite system where you see, if you might be able to see on your screen.
That would be a long shot, my brother. That would be, even I'll tell you for a fact, I've been to a couple of countries.
Yes.
There is no country that has a satellite monitoring system. The report for a fire department to respond to an emergency comes from an individual who is threatened. If you are not threatened, even if I burn a fire for 3 months and nobody is threatened, nobody will report. Even if I burn my entire farm for 3 months and nobody is threatened, nobody will report. It's until someone says, oh, I'm threatened. For example, if you are burning rubbish in your compound and someone sees smoke and is threatened, he will call, yet you are burning rubbish. So until someone reports that there is an emergency here, that's when the fire department can respond. There is nothing like a satellite and what.
Mr. Adams Kakuba, Secretary General of the St. Balikudembe Market Vendors Association. Talk to us a little bit about this Inferno. 1 year after something similar happened, could it have been avoided in your view? What could have been done?
Thank you, Mr. Tisto. I think the only thing is that first and foremost we want to, as St. Balikudembe Market, backyard our brothers. We almost deal in the same commodities. Some of our vendors are the wholesalers on the other hand. But we also, as the leadership, we must appreciate the economic policy. There is no trade order at all. Both markets. The problem is that lack of employment has made those markets to be the dumping, let me assume, fallback position of people, both the elite and non-elite. I want to assure you, the problem is that people cannot appreciate and allow the government this aspect. Like now when you go down, I want honorable men to be my witness. There mean people have already built.
They decided to be rebuilt.
Yes. You know why? Is what he mentioned. They are not sure of the ownership. They are not sure of the being there even tomorrow. If there was that assurance as a government policy on markets, and maybe if it can't release the market to the city tenants, then let have a plan as now they are doing in the local government. There are some markets, let it be gazetted, because there is no way. Secondly, that market must be specifically spread out. The ownership is not specific. Either is the government, or is the stadium, or Kampala State Council. There is conflict of interest in ownership of the land. Secondly, no people are talking of backyard. I want to appreciate Musoke. The damage damage on St. Balikudembe at this particular, it was too much. The magnitudes were too much.
You're talking about two markets, Packyard,
Yeah.
Packyard market, the one that was destroyed.
Yes. Do you know
But
why?
I'm trying to get it clear for the benefit of listeners who might not know.
Yes.
St. Balikudembe is the one that they used to call Owino, and it's neighboring the one that was guided by fire.
It's just one. You can't differentiate what is the boundaries and whatever.
Right.
Also, the other side of ours, it is used as stores somewhere, somehow. Those who cannot, they have small stores. Now they use the lockups and stores as their stores. So, secondly, there is poor management. Using of taplings. They are being tied from backyard to, they connect to St. Balikudembe. So, the spread of the fire is easy. Sadly, do you know why St. Balikudembe has been fighting fire? Every night, fire break out in St. Balikudembe. But we centralized security. Each department has its own guards, and they are supervised within that location, the zonal arrangement. So if there were really security in that market, the damage wouldn't have gone such an extent. So even one who reported the outbreak is the security guard of produce zone.
Right.
He rang his zone leader. The zone leader then rang the DPC. That connectivity wouldn't be easy for the fire brigade to do that. But all in all, what we need as leaders of the market, first of all, to know our interests,
Right.
protect our interests and property. We must dialogue with the government. We are in the city, we are not moving at all. Let the government and the city plan for
Okay. Maybe before we move forward, can you talk to us about the conspiracy theories? Who do you think set it on fire?
This is something that really needs a lot of intelligence. But I think we should not blame each other or anyone because we haven't established the cause. But compared the previous one,
The last fire.
yes, and this one, there must be there is something.
You think
that-
there's a connection?
Yeah. Secondly, the way our vendors handle fire. This is the place that they prepare food within with the charcoal stoves.
Open fire.
Open fire. There is the power. You know, how power nowadays they share and whatever. When it is off, maybe someone have left the fridge switch on, and when it comes, there is no guidance. Yes. So there is no way where you can blame one another. Secondly, the trade order in that market, the commodities are all core of fire. I'm giving an example.
Yes.
They are shoe shiners. You know how that one is also, they are using
It's a
petrol.
petroleum product.
They are selling dye, whatever. Dye is like,
It's also inflammable.
there is,
It's like aviation fuel almost.
they are using buveras, these polythene bags to cover. Taprins I have recalled. The tables where they are really, it is wood.
Very dry wood.
They're dry wood. So, you see how the scenario cannot be. But all in all of that we've envisaged, there must be a cause. Why? Which needs the government to come out to investigate that. And also Christians and Muslims to pray hard so that the devil can
Come out and confess.
say, I'm the one who did it. I'm the one.
But I've changed my mind. I'll not do it again. This is Spectrum on Radio 1 tonight. The aftermath of the Nakivubo Packyard Market Inferno. Why are we failing to address such repeated disasters? We're going for a break, but we'll be back.
3 times a year, every year for the past 6 years, I have been stressed going to pay school fees. I've woken up at the crack of dawn, taken 2 taxis and a boat, finally arrived, filled out the forms. I have lined up between a guy with kavubuka and a guy with a nasty cough. And I've waited and waited, but no more now. I have moved on with MTN mobile money. So now I pay school fees directly from my mobile while I spend time with my children.
When you move on with MTN mobile money, your children can move on to greater things. And now, everyone can pay school fees with MTN mobile money. So, be one of the 100 people to win 100,000 shillings towards your next school shopping when you pay school fees with MTN mobile money.
MTN. Everywhere you go.
Thank you for coming to the executive suite, madam. My name is Richard, your executive banker, and I'm here to handle all your banking needs.
Oh, really? Thank you. I noticed you don't have any queues here.
No, Mrs. Asio, we do not.
Oh, wow. You even know my name?
But of course, madam. Today we are offering you a current account with a Gold Visa debit card, home loans with attractive rates, Gold Visa credit cards, and unsecured personal loan.
All that for me?
Yes. In addition, we can offer you internet banking so that you can access our services from anywhere, even your home.
Oh, this is too much. What else will you give me now? Chai?
Experience executive banking at Stanbic Bank.
Excuse me, madam. Your cup of chai?
Ask about executive banking at your nearest branch or visit our executive banking suite in Nakasero Towers, Forest Mall at Lugogo, Garden City, Ntinda, Makerere, Mbarara, Mukono, Mbale, Lira, and Gulu. Stanbic Bank. Moving forward. Special announcement. The general public is hereby invited to attend the first ever East African Information and Employment Opportunities Forum, which is going to be held at the Kampala Serena Hotel on Wednesday, 3rd August 2011 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. under the theme, Information for All. The areas of discussion will cover ICT, education, employment, trade and investment opportunities. The activities will include launch of the employment database, exercise of registering all job seekers in all fields within the community, which is free of charge, registration of the many businesses to advertise in the East African Main Directory, getting to have the available information on the East African community, and many other opportunities. The guest of honor is His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Entrance is by registration at the General Post Office building, second floor, suite 219. Some of the key speakers are Minister of East African Community Affairs, PS, Ministry of Labor, ambassadors of the East African countries in Uganda, entrepreneurs from True African, Imaginate, and so many more. You cannot afford to miss it. End of announcement. Spectrum continues.
Spectrum on Radio 1 FM 90 is brought to you by Stanbic Bank.
Welcome back on Spectrum tonight, the aftermath of the Nakivubo Parkhead Market Inferno. Why are we failing to address such repeated disasters? Our guests on the show tonight, Honorable Mohammed Nsereko, Kampala Central Member of Parliament, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Simon Peter Musoke, Chief Fire Officer at the Police Fire Brigade, and Mr. Adams Kakuba, Secretary General of said Balikudembe Market Vendors Association. I'll read out the telephone numbers when the time comes so you listeners can contribute to this discussion as well. Honorable Nsereko, this market, is it a planned market or is it a living market? Something that people build because they need to work somewhere?
Well, I don't know the market in Kampala or in Uganda that first came up based on plan. Because, these markets, historically, were a substitute of people that would not have income to go and rent buildings, but they wanted to transact in a city. Therefore, the low-income earners came up with maybe reasoning of saying, there is an open space there, we can erect something, and also the buyers come down to them. By the way, I was in Chinatown in the US, in Los Angeles, and you would think this is downtown Kampala. But what we should do in this, first of all, I would like to thank ASP Simon. He has given, a real, what we call an explanation from the book, and that's it. But the issue, the deeply rooted issue in this matter is we have to find out the reasons as to why 30,000 people go to work in an area. You sort out that, you fix this economy.
Explain that first.
The pyramid, I've always been talking about this. That's why when I was talking about the vendors even the other time, I was so disheartened. There is no one on planet Earth that wants to work in poor conditions. It's because they do not have money. None of us wants to